This is the 2025 Hyundai Santa Cruz. It is an SUV in the front, but it's a pickup truck in the back. And this is a pretty popular car, and it only has one competitor. So if you're thinking about a compact truck, this is certainly one you want to consider. And there's a lot of new features for 2025. So if you've seen the Tucson, this is very similar. The first thing you're going to note is the headlight signature has changed. It's a more modern stacked look and less of an aggressive sort of winged look on this vehicle. Also, you'll note that the front end is a little bit more muscular and some darker features, and an XRT trim level is available for that light off-roading. The 2025 Santa Cruz is refreshed and is a more rugged presence and styling upgrades that get even stronger when you look at that XRT trim level. And the updated interior, well, that's even more modern, larger screens, and a sleeker dash. The Santa Cruz is perfectly balanced for driving it around city roads or taking it to a farm like we're at here in Santa Barbara, California. There are two different wheel options. They're 18-inch on the XRT, which we will take off-road, and 20-inch on our limited edition, which has less sidewall, gives it more of a performance feel. When you're off-road, you want more tire for more flexibility to absorb some of those undulations that are in the off-road trails. The bold exterior design is what Santa Cruz is known for. In addition, on the XRT, you're going to see these integrated tow hooks that are in the front. They're red, they look really cool, and that new headlight update is across the lineup. There are 4 trim levels available: the SE, the SEL, the Limited, and the new XRT Off-Road Edition. When it comes to the warranty for the Santa Cruz, like all Hyundais, it's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, plus a 3-year, 36,000-mile maintenance package, which will definitely help you on the bottom line, which makes this a very great value. Coming around to the back, you have a lockable tonneau cover, which is really great for privacy or putting your luggage if you're going to the airport, but it also rolls back so that you can put items in the bed, such as bikes or camping gear or whatever you'd like. LED taillights are standard, and that Santa Cruz logo is across the back. This 4-foot bed also has an additional feature of storage underneath, which is great for hiding those items. You could probably also make that a cooler if you're into tailgating. Really nice feature. Its hydraulic lifts make it super easy, and of course there's tie downs in the bed as well. This rugged truck has access to the bed if you don't want to put the tailgate down by just putting your foot in here, and you can pull yourself right up to grab the items that you need. Again, this is a very utility-friendly vehicle. When it comes to the seats for the Santa Fe, they're pretty comfortable and supportive front seats. They come heated and ventilated on the upper trim levels. Lumbar support for the driver's side seat only. Coming into the second row, well, this is much like a Tucson. You've got 2 flat seats across the back, and you have an armrest that pulls down with 2 integrated cup holders, vents across the back of the console, USB-C charge ports for 2, and netting across both seats. There's also a pass-through on the rear glass if you've got long items that you want to hold. Under the hood, there are 2 engine options: a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with 191 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy is 22 miles to the gallon in the city and 26 on the highway. Towing capacity, 3,500 pounds. Or you can get the optional turbocharged 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with 281 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, backed by an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission with a fuel economy of 19 miles to the gallon in the city and 27 on the highway. 0 to 60 time is 6 seconds. Towing capacity is 5,000 pounds. All trim levels come front or all-wheel drive, except for that XRT trim level, which will be all-wheel drive. So much like the Hyundai Tucson, which we have reviewed as a completely separate review, there are the same type of upgrades that have been done inside the Santa Cruz. And that's good, so you get that familiarity if you're thinking, I'd like the pickup truck, and I really love this Santa Cruz, or do I prefer that SUV type ride where I have the back area that's covered? Now, what you're gonna find is a lot of similarities. Both offer XRT trim levels, so we took the Santa Cruz XRT off-road. Most people think of off-roading, they think of something certainly more than a Tucson. Now, the XRT trim level is for light off-roading. It's for overlanding. It's for if you are going camping or getting to a soccer field. But this has a little bit more potential than that, and that's what I think most people don't realize. So as we go on this light off-road trail here in California, you can see there's some dirt roads and there's some rough terrain as I chase down a Santa Cruz, which we have in a separate review. You'll see that it is very capable. So we are in the off-road mode and easily climbing the hill with that H-track all-wheel drive with no effort whatsoever. Now there is some changes with the XRT that you're not going to get with the Limited. The XRT does not have a glass roof, and it actually has a real prindle, as I call it, or a shift lever that's on the center console. So if you want your phone right next to you, look at the Limited or a non-XRT trim level. There's also a locking differential, hill descent, and these are things that you'd want if you're doing some light off-roading. Heavy-duty off-roading, well, that's a different application, but most people aren't doing that. They want to get down a trail, maybe look at a piece of property, they work at a construction site, they need to get there. Maybe you're going to an event and they make you park out in what I call the North 40. Well, this vehicle is very capable. Now we're using going down with hill descent, and you can see good car control. Brakes aren't over applied, which is nice. And you can hear the application of the hill descent and the ABS brakes all working together in partnership. So although this may not be the massive off-road vehicle for rock climbing, you can easily take the trails and have a little fun on a weekend. Now back to the inside, your first thing you're going to notice is a lot of similarities. That curved 12.3-inch screens that give you the information as a digital display. You also have that safety system, which is an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which means you're getting a safe vehicle whether you're buying the Tucson or the Santa Cruz, which is really important because you're transporting people and things and you want to make sure that they're safe. You've got lane change departure, blind spot detection, you've got all of the safety features that go for both vehicles, including smart cruise control and an around view camera. As you're moving your way across, that center screen's got navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. All of that is standard. So if you're comparing this to the Maverick, you have to look at all those features that come standard with the Santa Cruz, and both of them are excellent choices, and we reviewed the Maverick as well. I do like some of the upgrades that they've done on the Santa Cruz, having this nice tray in the front, fabric material, easy to clean. I love the linear vents, which I think is a real plus. And then down below, they went to more buttons because that's what you asked for. You didn't want all these screens. Got to be kind of frustrating. So you've got all of your more popular choices, the home, the map, the search are right here down below. And then below that, you've got all of your climate control, which is actual buttons. Below that, you've got your charging cables and all the attachment points for that, plus wireless charging and more storage. Now, unlike the Tucson, you have an actual prindle or shifter, which is also available on the XRT for the Tucson in case you're looking at options between one or the other. Further back, you've got a nice, good-sized glove box. Everything is easy to use. Now, what they've thought about in this car that they didn't add to the Tucson on the XRT is there is a glass roof, which I thought was interesting. So they don't offer that on the XRT trim level. So little differences, little nuances between the two. Make sure to check out that Tucson review so you can get a good feel for that as well. But overall, you're getting a lot of the same things. Memory seating, heated and vented seats, all of that. Now this is a Limited and there are 4 trim levels, so you're getting everything that you would get in a Tucson, but what you gain is a bed, which is great if you're into all the off-road experiences, whether it be biking or camping or hiking, or just you want a bed for whatever reason. Maybe you're into tailgating. You'll have all of that when it comes to the Santa Cruz. Super easy to drive. I do like the nice tight feel for this vehicle as far as handling. Brakes are well balanced. Different drive modes. There is no baby mode. There's a normal, a sport, a smart, and a snow. We'll go into the sport mode now. We were driving it in the normal mode. You know, this is not a performance vehicle, but it handles really nicely and gives you that feel that you want when you're driving a vehicle that's super easy to drive. I'll turn on my turn signal, there's no one behind me, but what you're gaining is what no other vehicle has, and the Maverick definitely doesn't have, is that blind spot camera, which I think is brilliant. Hyundai has been using it for a long time. Kia and Genesis also offer that. No other brand has it. Long time ago, Honda had the lane watch. They stopped doing it for whatever reason, but that was only on the right side. This gives you left and right side. So when you're making a turn, you won't hit a curb. You won't find something there that you may have not seen until you hit it. Again, super smart safety technology, which is why this is a Top Safety Pick Plus. But overall, I'm liking the new Santa Cruz. It's very much like the Tucson. It's got all the same upgrades. Keeping that prindle or shifter, to me, I like this. But what you do gain in the Tucson by putting that on a stalk is you now have more places for storage. And the XRT, well, it's capable for overlanding and for all those light off-roading duties that you will enjoy. There are some pros and cons when it comes to the Santa Cruz. I like the car-like ride and handling, and they've done a great job with the updates. I think this vehicle looks even more modern and very usable, especially with the small bed, depending upon what you're doing. On the negative side, I kind of wish there was lumbar on the passenger side. Again, if you're sitting in the passenger seat, that's important to you. When it comes to the competitors, well, their only competitor is the Ford Maverick, and they have also done some upgrades for 2025. So make sure to test drive both and then check with your insurance company, and that's going to help you make your final decision. Now let's get to the price. The starting price for the Santa Cruz is $29,835 and goes all the way up to $48,800. Again, depends which trim level you want and what features are important to you. Personally, I like the Limited. The XRT is very cool if you're doing that light off-roading. I'm sure you have some additional questions when it comes to the Santa Cruz. Put them down in the comments below and let's start that conversation. If you got value from this video, please like and subscribe. We do appreciate the support. If you want to support us even further, you can buy me a cup of coffee. The link for that is in the description, plus all the ways to reach me and all of our content. I'm Lauren Fix. Thanks so much for watching.